Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is the Maestro, Tim Hankewich, back for the next event in the 24-25 Orchestra Iowa season. Tim, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. Great to be here.
And this will be the first Pops concert of the season.
Absolutely, and what a way to start it in honor of Halloween. You know, we're kind of calling out all witches and wizards and muggles, if you know what that is. So a little bit of music of Harry Potter.
This may be a little bit of a tip as to what the concert is.
Yep, and we're encouraging our audiences and their kids who they bring along with them to join in and dress up in costume.
So the music of Harry Potter, of course, you've done music of Harry Potter before,
right?
And this music also made an appearance during the John Williams, concert of a season or two ago, and John Williams. Let's talk about John Williams.
Well, let's talk about John Williams.
Let's start there, because he did not do all.
That is correct.
This
is actually kind of a comprehensive overview of all the films. We're performing music from all 8 of them. But you're right. John Williams was the one who really put his stamp on, certainly on the first 3, and then he had other projects, and he farmed off that contract to other composers. And so it's kind of interesting to hear sort of the flash of John Williams that we all know, and then compare it to some of the other people who did a very good job, but it's still immediately recognizable that, hey, this isn't quite the same thing. You know, John Williams is a pretty unique person,
but certainly influenced.
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, all the major themes have been composed by John Williams. So by the time another composer inherits that legacy, they use the same themes. Of course, the great Hedwig's theme and all the others.
That would have to be a tough gig. Here, you know, John Williams is not available, so here you've got to score this movie.
Yeah.
But here's all the stuff you have to use.
You'd have to have a lot of moxie to say, yeah, I'll take that gig, because you're only going to be compared unfavorably. I mean, even though you do an excellent job, I mean, John Williams is just such, he's just head and shoulders above everybody else.
So from a musician and a composer or an arranger standpoint, then, what is it about John Williams that makes his work stand the test of time?
A couple reasons, and first of all, it's the reasons why musicians both love and fear him. It's wonderfully satisfying music to play, but here's the secret about good music. It's usually really hard to play. And he uses the symphonic orchestra to its absolute full potential, so everybody gets a taste. No one's playing whole notes all the time. I mean, everybody is playing extremely advanced music. And so it stretches their capabilities, but it's also orchestrated in a way that is so satisfying. The other thing that keeps his music, that distinguishes him from other film composers, is that he writes with a sense of structure. I think the layperson wouldn't really understand this, but the difference between keeping your attention and not keeping your attention is the way the music is structured. So, for example, a lesser composer would be given the assignment of creating an atmosphere. Okay, that's the easiest part. Now, how do you create an atmosphere and keep an audience's ears entertained for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20, an hour? And there are structural ways that John Williams crafts his music that others just don't. And as a result, that's the reason why his music can stand up to that test in a concert format rather than just existing on film.
And from a film scoring and audience standpoint, there are movies that you watch where you don't even notice the score. There are movies that you watch where the score seems to fit and does kind of advance the plot, or at least provide atmosphere, like you said. And I'm thinking in the superhero world, I'm thinking of the Avengers theme. Man, in that first Avengers movie, when you hear that for the first time, that is a moment.
Yeah, exactly.
But as great a moment in the film is, it's not something you probably go back to and listen to later or build an entire concert around. And yet here, this is just one of the many, many, many landmark projects that John Williams has done. But, Hedwig's theme, Harry's theme, all of that. We know
Chamber of Secrets.
We know these.
Yeah, exactly.
We know them as pieces, not just parts of movies.
And these pieces will exist and survive on their own long after the films are forgotten. And yes, in 20 years, they might be making remakes of these already. Who knows? But what your audience probably doesn't know is that we're playing a lot of the same music on Monday for students. And the context that I'm presenting this music in is the fact that since the ancient Greeks, we knew that music is the language of the soul, a language of emotion. And so music, especially in film, when it's applied to film, is intended to manipulate your emotions. It's kind of subversive if you think about it.
That's right. You are being manipulated.
You are being manipulated. So when you're playing a video game or watching television or you're watching a scene in a movie and you're feeling anxious or you're feeling suspenseful, joyful, happy, sad, take a second and pause just to think and think to yourself, is it the action on the screen that's making me feel that way? And probably 9 times out of 10, it's the information that the musical score is giving you how to feel. And that is the whole extra dimension. And that's why John Williams is such a master at this.
Because he can make us feel what we need to feel.
Absolutely. I mean, even in his music, whether it's Buckbeak's Flight or Fox the Phoenix or even Hedwig's theme, he writes in a way that you know what it's like to fly. I mean, it's either soaring melodies or it's the turbulence of the air or it's the actually heart palpitations that you feel if you're riding this gigantic beast that's flying over the countryside. That sort of information you're not going to really capture in words in a scene. I mean, that's what music is intended to do.
There are some side activities.
Absolutely.
And script things going on with this. It's not just Tim up front waving a baton playing great music.
There's a lot of production involved with this. And in fact, please come in costume. Bring your kids. It's going to be a great time. Pre-concert, we have some live owls there for you to see, and
that's
some
fun.
Other birds of prey. We have a sorting hat station, and you can also make your own wand. That'll be a whole lot of fun. And then in the concert itself, I think a lot of people know that KCCK and Orchestra Iowa work together a lot on certain projects, but there's also a lot of back channeling that goes on too. And you actually helped me with this particular program because another thing is we insert characters from the film just through some audio and some dialogue.
You were kind enough to task me with writing some kind of wraparound comedy stuff.
Correct.
And as as someone who has been a Harry Potter fan, read all the books, seen all the movies, the opportunity to put some fun words into the mouths of a couple of the characters was a fun opportunity. And shout out to our actors. You won't see them, but you will hear the voices of the incredibly talented Marcia Hughes and Al Becker, who are longtime performers and well-known actors, and
they will harass a very hapless conductor.
That's right.
Throughout the entire concert.
Let's just say spells will be cast.
Spells will be cast. And by the way, the reason you should come in costume, A, it's fun. B, it's getting close to Halloween. But the beginning of the second half of our program actually is a costume parade. So come on stage and strut your stuff as well.
So one show only.
One show only Saturday night at the Paramount, 7:30. Come early so you can see these owls at this petting zoo, and also to see what house you belong to with the sorting hat and make your own wand.
And I suspect that there are parents and grandparents who think, well, my kid, whether it's kid or grandkid, loves these movies, loves these books, but they probably can't sit still for an entire concert or can't sit quietly. But I think the word is, hey, if a kid gets restless, it's no problem.
It's no problem. And absolutely, there are certain universes in our culture that transcend generations. I mean, Star Wars would be one, and certainly Harry Potter. I mean, young and old will love it. And in fact, I'm remiss to say that one of our pieces will be sung by our own Discovery concert. By our children's chorus. They'll be up there singing their hearts off, double, double, toil and trouble, and all that great stuff. So, it's all about kids. So,
so bring kids.
Bring your kids and bring your little kid inside.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's this Saturday night, Pop's concert featuring the music of Harry Potter, Tim Hankewich, the Discovery Chorus, course, Orchestra Iowa, and a few little fun things going on, too.
A lot of magic is going to happen.
And tickets at your website, which is?
orchestraiowa.org or artsiowa.com.
Well, have fun with it. I'll be there, and I'm looking forward to it. And come back in a few weeks. I know you got more stuff on the way.
Wow. Yeah.
That time of year.
It is that time of year.
Thanks, Tim.
Bye-bye.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio most weekdays at 10:30, on demand at kcck.org/culture, or subscribe using your favorite podcast player. Watch our videos on the KCCK Facebook and YouTube channels. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. The Culture Crawl theme is composed by Vivian Shanley. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.